Hi, hello, good evening. Welcome back to National AS Academy. Welcome to the second video on the discussions surrounding the recently held UPSC Civil Services Prelims question paper, that is GS paper 1. Like I said, we have already released the key answers, one of the most authentic key answers available in the entire country. Please do check it out and if possible download and check out your scores. Those who are watching this video, if you're given your prelims, do not forget to comment your score in the comment box below. So in the previous class, I had discussed in detail about the first set of 25 questions. So today in this class, we shall look at the next set of questions starting from question number 26. So which one of the following best describes the concept of small farmer, large field? See, this question, like it looks like out of the box question, but do not, go deep into the concept of the question. Just look at the topic or look at the word and try to eliminate the wrong answer. Yes, of course, most of the questions would not be eliminated based on the previous so-called elimination techniques in this year's question paper or in this year's exam. But somehow here and there we have few questions wherein we could apply those elimination techniques, and this is one such question. Small farmer, large field. Look at statement A. Resettlement of a large number of people uprooted from their countries due to war by giving them a large cultivable land which they cultivate collectively and shape their produce. Look at the statement here. There are many extreme keywords. Large number of people by giving them a large cultivable land. Why would a country want to give a large cultivable land to migrants or immigrants? So obviously I would eliminate the first statement. Many marginal farmers in an area organize themselves into groups and synchronize and harmonize selected agricultural operations. Yes, this looks good. Many marginal farmers in an area together make a contract with a corporate body and surrender their land to corporate body for a fixed term for which the corporate body makes a payment of agreed amount to the farmers. So surrender, corporate body, these appear to be extreme. So I am eliminating the third statement. Look at the fourth one. A company extends loans, technical knowledge, and material inputs to a number of small farmers in an area so that they produce the agricultural commodity required by the company for its manufacturing process and commercial production. This too is not applicable because such was the situation pre-independence. That is the reason why Indigo, revolution took place, right? Indigo revolts took place. So by comparing the present context with the that of historical context, you can eliminate the third statement, last statement. So you're left with only option B. That is, the answer is B. Yes, answer B. It is many marginal farmers in an area organize themselves into groups and synchronize and harmonize selected agricultural operations. This appears to be true logically as well as factually, right? So like this, you can attempt at least 15 to 20 questions in this year's examination. In this question paper. So next question, consider the following statements. The government of India provides minimum support price for Niger. So NIGR seeds. It is cultivated as kharif crop. Statement 3. Some tribal people in India use Niger seed oil for cooking. Right. Some cultivated as kharif crop. Government of India provides MSP. So if you know about the first statement, then the next two statements are easy and you can go with option C, that is all three are correct. Even then, I would say this is a little bit trickier. It is a tricky question. You can somehow mark the third statement as the right statement, but it is really difficult with respect to the first statement. There are more than 20 products for which the government is providing MSP, and it is very hard to remember all of them. But since MSP is a hot topic or one of the favorite topics for UPSC examiners, so most of you have obviously by-hearted this crops under MSP. So as a result, you would be able to mark the statement one also as the right statement, right? So it depends. It differs from person to person. An individual who has studied the previous year questions or who has understood the pattern of UPSC exam, so he or she would have easily studied in depth about MSP, that is minimum support price. Okay, let us move on to the next question. Consider the investments in the following assets: brand recognition, inventory, intellectual property, mailing list of the clients. How many of the above are considered intangible investments? Tangible, that which you can measure. Intangible, which cannot be measured. The value of a product which cannot be measured is called as intangible. So brand recognition, obviously intangible. Intellectual property, intangible. Mailing list of clients, can you measure? No, it is also intangible. Whereas inventory can be both tangible as well as intangible. So as a result, you can eliminate the statement 2, and after that you're left with only 1, 3, 4. So only 3 is the right answer. Next, consider the following statements: demographic performance, forest and ecology, governance reforms, stable government, tax and fiscal efforts. Right. So for horizontal tax devolution, the 15th Finance Commission used how many of the above as criteria other than population, area and income distance? So once again, look at the keyword of the question. 15th Finance Commission. You, me, every serious aspirant would have gone through the 15th Finance Commission and its recommendations and also the criteria which it has used. Already in the year 2020, a direct question was asked based on the 15th Finance Commission. So based on that information, I presume you would be knowing every single minute details, or that which is expected from UPSC has been studied by you guys. So obviously you can eliminate 3 and 4. So you're left with 1, 2 and 5. So the right option is only 3 statements are correct. Getting my point? Next, consider the following infrastructure sectors: affordable housing, mass rapid transport, healthcare, and renewable energy. How many of the above does UNOPS sustainable investments in infrastructure and innovation initiative focus for its investments? Right. So based on logic, here too you can eliminate second one, that is mass rapid transport. Healthcare is required, renewable energy is required, affordable housing is required. These are basic bare minimum necessities. So as a result, option 3, that is only 3, would be correct. Next, in essence, what does due process of law mean? The principle of natural justice. This might be the answer. The procedure established by the law you can eliminate, because due process of law and the procedure established by law, both are different aspects. And equality before law, definitely due process of law does not mean it is equality before law. So you're left with option A and option C, but the right answer is option C, that is fair application of law. Due process of law, which means the law takes its own way, or its own path, which is logical as well as legal. So hence option 3 would be the right answer, that is fair application of law. Question number 32. Consider the following statements. Yes, statement based questions are here. In India, prisons are managed by state governments with their own rules and regulations for the day-to-day administration of prisons. This is given, you should be knowing, because there are a number of instances which had happened very recently with respect to the management of prisons or overcrowding of prisons. As a result, Supreme Court had summoned various state governments looking at the pathetic conditions of various prisons. So in that context, you might have studied or understood that prisons fall under the state subject, right? And the 7th schedule of the Indian Constitution. So in India, prisons are governed by Prisons Act of 1984, 1894, which expressly kept the subject of prisons in the control of provincial governments. So based on taking clue from this act, the parent act, that is Prisons Act of 1894, even after independence, the same act was used to manage the prison, or the same guidelines were used to rule or to frame regulations with respect to prisons. As a result, statement 1 and 2 both are right, and statement 2 provides a proper explanation for statement 1. So A is the right answer. Question number 33. Which one of the following statements best reflects the chief purpose of the constitution of a country? What does a constitution mean for a government? It is a limitation for the government, because it cannot exercise its absolute powers. As a result, government is limited by the Constitution of India, or for that matter, Constitution of any country. So it is a document which ensures certain rights for the citizens, whereas it acts as a barrier or a limitation on the power of the government. So option C, that is, it defines and limits the power of the government, would be the right answer. Next, in India, which one of the following constitutional amendments was widely believed to be enacted or to overcome the judicial interpretations of fundamental rights? You can eliminate option C and D. You might get confused with option 1 and 2, that is first Constitutional Amendment Act and 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. But by applying your basic logic here, you would mark the statement, the option A, as the right answer. Why? Because Immediately after the enforcement of Indian Constitution, right to property was placed under fundamental right, and as a result government had to face very tough situation or challenging situation when it tried to redistribute the land. So most of the land were owned by very few people, very few set of people who were in a lineage of zamindars and other feudatory lords. So to overcome that barrier and to ensure equality, the government had to redistribute the land and set certain limits, certain ceiling limits on the number of acres that a person is owning no land. So as a result, to overcome that, the government had to pass the First Amendment and remove the right to property from the list of fundamental rights and keep it under Article 300A, which became a constitutional right. So right to property now is mere constitutional right and it is no more a fundamental right. So with respect to this question, that is which of the following constitutional amendment was widely believed to be enacted to overcome the judicial interpretations of the fundamental rights? So this is First Amendment, First Constitutional Amendment Act of India. Next, consider the following organizations or bodies in India: the National Commission for Backward Classes, NHRC, National Law Commission, National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission. How many of the above are constitutional bodies? Eliminate first one, eliminate second one, eliminate fourth one. So answer would be only one, that is A. Only, sorry, it's not law commission, it's National Commission for Backward Classes. Among these four, only the National Commission for Backward Classes is a constitutional body, whereas NHRC, it's a statutory body. National Law Commission, it is neither statutory nor constitutional. NCDRC, that is National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission, it is also not a constitutional body, but it is a statutory body. So left with only NCBC, that is National Commission for Backward Classes. And which article is related to it? Article 338B. So from the Constitution 102nd Amendment Act gave it a constitutional status, right? Next, if the election of the president of India is declared void by the Supreme Court of India, all acts done by him or her in the performance of duties of his or her office of the president before the date of decision the date of decision become invalid. This is absolutely a wrong statement. No court can do like that. So you can eliminate the first statement. Election for the post of President of India can be postponed on the ground that some legislative assemblies have been dissolved and elections are yet to take place. This is also a wrong statement. The Election Commission of India should not at all be concerned about the vacant assemblies. Next, when a bill is presented to the President of India, the Constitution prescribes time limits within which he or she has to declare his or her assent. No. Right? So by eliminating all the three statements, you can mark D as the right answer, that is none. Next, with reference to finance bill and money bill in the Indian Parliament, consider the following statements. When Lok Sabha transmits finance bill to the Rajya Sabha, it can amend or reject the bill. When Lok Sabha transmits money, first statement is obviously wrong. Rajya Sabha cannot amend the money bill. Next, when the Lok Sabha transmits money bill to the Rajya Sabha, it cannot amend or reject the bill. It can only make recommendations. This is correct. In case of disagreement between the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, there is no joint sitting for money bill, but a joint sitting becomes necessary for finance bill. This is also absolutely a wrong statement. There is no provision for a joint sitting. So you're left with only one option, that is only one is correct. Question number 38. Consider the following statements. Once the central government notifies an area as a community reserve, the chief wildlife warden of the state becomes the governing authority of such forests. Yes, correct. Hunting is not allowed in such area. Yes, correct. People of such area are allowed to collect non-timber forest produce. Yes, correct. People of such area are allowed traditional agricultural practices. No. People residing in those premises are allowed to collect only non-timber forest produce, that is NTFP, whereas they are not at all allowed to practice agriculture in the said area. So as a result, you can eliminate the fourth statement. You are left with only three statements. So option C, that is only three, becomes the right answer. Next, with reference to scheduled areas in India, consider the following statements. Within a state, the notification of an area as scheduled area takes place through an order of the president. Yes. The largest administrative unit forming the scheduled area is the district, and the lowest is the cluster of villages in the block. Yes, correct. The chief ministers of the concerned state are required to submit annual reports to the Union Home Ministry on the administration of scheduled areas in the state. This is absolutely wrong statement, because this responsibility has been delegated or given to whom? The governor of a said state. Right? It's not the chief minister, but it's the governor who has the responsibility or obligation to submit annual reports regarding those areas. Getting? So even this is also a very basic question. See, questions appear to be difficult, but yes, they are difficult obviously, because the topics or keywords in the question are familiar, but statements are not so much familiar. But despite that, you can easily attempt 40 to 45 questions with full confidence. Right? So we'll discuss. So option B, only 2 is the right answer. Next, the Supreme Court of India has held in some judgments that the reservation policies made under Article 16, Clause 4 of the Indian Constitution would be limited by Article 335 for the maintenance of efficiency of administration. This might be true. Article 335 of the Constitution of India defines the term efficiency. Constitution of India defines the term efficiency of administration. You can straight away eliminate this as the wrong statement. So left with statement 1 as the only correct statement. So option C, that is statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect, is the right answer. Next, in which one of the following regions was Danya Kataka, which flourished as a prominent Buddhist center under the Mahasanghikas, located Andhra Pradesh? It was in news. It was come in the Hindu newspaper thrice in the 2023 itself. Right? Next, with reference to ancient India, consider the following statements. The concept of stupa is of Buddhist in origin. Yes, we know that. Stupa was generally a repository of relics. Stupa was a votive and commemorative structure in Buddhist tradition. All the three statements are correct, but there is some dispute going on between various keys regarding statement 1. Some people say the concept of stupa existed even before the Buddhism came into picture, or Buddhism was established. So here there is some sort of dispute, but even then I would go with all the three statements. That is 1, 2, 3. Both all the three are correct. Next, with reference to ancient South India, Korkai, Pumpuar, and Muchiri were well known as capital cities, ports, centers of iron and steel making, shrines of Jain Tirthankaras. Ports is the right answer. Next, which one of the following explains the practice of Vatta Kirutal as mentioned in Sangam poems? It is a king defeated in a battle committing ritual suicide by starving himself to death. This was mentioned in Sangam poems. Next, this is a difficult question. It's hard to know such minute informations. Consider the following dynasties: Faisala, Gahadawala, Kakatiya, Yadava. How many of the above dynasties established their kingdoms in the early 8th century? So none, because all these dynasties established their dynasties post 9th century. So easily you can eliminate all the options. So that is why I keep saying, when it comes to ancient and medieval history, it is the prime duty of every aspirant to understand or to have the chronology. At least that is the bare minimum requirement from you aspirants. You should know the proper chronology, after which kingdom came, who was the significant ruler, or who was the founder, right? Who was the successor. Next, with reference to ancient Indian history, consider the following pairs. So Devi Chandragupta, it was not written by Bilhana, it was written by Vishakadatta. So one is wrong. Hamira Mahakavya, Nayachandra Suri, this is right. Milindapanna, it's not Nagarjuna, it's Nagasena. So this is also wrong. Niti Vakyamrita, it is Somadeva Suri. So option 2, that is only 2 pairs are correct. Even then, it is a difficult question. So souls are not only the property of animal and plant life, but also of rocks, running water, and many other natural objects not looked on as living by other religious sects. The above statement reflects one of the core beliefs of which one of the following religious sects of ancient India? It's Jainism. It's a very easy question. Next, who among the following rulers of the Vijayanagara Empire constructed a large dam across Tungabhadra river and a canal aqueduct several kilometers long from the river to the capital city? It's Devaraya 1. So these are all medieval history based questions. Who among the following rulers of medieval Gujarat surrendered due to the Portuguese? It's Bahadur Shah. Right? So these are the set of questions which we have to discuss today. In the next class, I'll discuss the remaining questions from GS paper 1. So I hope you're all getting the point. You're all trying to understand the trend. So the basic objective behind the discussion of these keys and questions as well is to make you or is to prepare you for the upcoming prelims, that is 2024 prelims. For that, understanding the PYQs and linking them with your concepts is of utmost importance, right? First, thoroughly study your subjects, that is core subjects. After that, link them to PYQs, and in the end, compulsorily link all these concepts to current affairs at any cost. So this completes your holistic preparation or comprehensive preparation. So with this approach, you can definitely crack prelims as well as mains. All right. So thank you so much for joining. See you in the next class. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye bye.